Hello everyone, Johnny Hurricane here from GamersHeroes.com, and today, why don't you sit back, relax, and let me tell you a little bit about Exoprimal. Let's get started. Alright, so this is obviously a third-person shooter where you fight with dinosaurs, but it's like PvPvE. I don't know if that's always the case, but the beta, which is what the footage is from, that's what it was in the beta. So basically there were two teams, and these two teams were doing the same objectives, and whoever basically completed it first would get more points, obviously, and then get closer towards the end. And then I think basically if they steamroll you, it's only 3 rounds. But I think it's best 2 out of 3. So if it goes back and forth, like you win one, they win one, you win one, they win one, 5th one is the last one. And then you fight each other because it is PvP at the end. But how it works is the very last objective is open PvP. The objective right before that is basically whoever gets out there first, they're going to have the advantage. So you're doing the same thing, but if you're faster, you'll be able to get the jump on the enemy team when it comes down to PvP time. And when it is PvP time, it's basically a race against the clock. Who can kill more dinosaurs? Who can kill each other faster? I'm assuming there's going to be more than one objective, but the one that we mostly got was you fill up this meter for a hammer, and then you use the hammer to slam down this thing that basically deletes all the dinosaurs, and then you win. The Omega Hammer. That's what it is. But while you're actually playing the game, one thing I really like about this, so unlike Warframe, it is kind of a similar thing, right? You're in like mechs, basically. You can actually switch on the fly. You can be any one of the mechs. You just have to leave the suit and then re-enter another suit. So you're basically like, you're exposed, but you can switch at will. There's I don't know, 10-second cooldown maybe, but it's very quick, which means that if the enemy's stuffing you with snipers, you can switch up to some snipers or maybe some smoke. The most impressive thing is the amount of dinosaurs that were on screen without any lag whatsoever. It was very impressive. I'm of the opinion that any Capcom game that has dinosaurs in it that isn't Monster Hunter or Dino Crisis is fighting an uphill battle. So it's cool because you get all these raptors on screen, and you can also get giant T-Rexes. And you can actually play as a T-Rex. It's sort of like a special ability, very, very rare. I only saw it a couple of times and I never got to use it in the beta. But you basically become a Carnosaur or a Tyrannosaurus, whatever, and then you attack the enemy team. So that's like if the team is losing, then they get a little bit of a buff to help out. But even then, if you don't know what you're doing with a dinosaur, the enemy team will just eliminate it. And the objectives are pretty generic, you know, it's like kill dinosaurs, kill certain dinosaurs, smash objectives, protect objectives. I don't know if this is the only game mode, but this is the only game mode that was in the beta, like I said. I played probably like 4-ish hours. I had a good time. Like I said, no hitches, which is very impressive for the amount of dinosaurs coming out. As for the classes, it's your traditional hero shooter. You got the assault, which is damage. You got the tank, which obviously is a tank, takes damage. And then there's the support, which is basically the healer, or I think there's like a speed up one as well. And yeah, I always have a problem with these types of games because either A, you're a solo player and your team just never listens to you, or B, you're in the pre-made party that's all chatting and you blast into each other. And lately I'm in the former rather than the latter. So normally I'm playing solo, and I don't know how friendly this game's going to be solo. When it was PvE, when it was just you fighting dinosaurs, I thought that had a chance. But at the end, like we were winning one like handily. And then I got to the end and the players just started sniping us and it was like, oh, and we lost. And then of course there are melee ones as well. If you're good at melee, you're awesome. But I remember Destiny 2, they introduced those freaking swords, man. And again, it's like in this, like, yeah, you can do good with melee, but if you don't, then you're a detriment to the team. And that's another worry, is that players are just gonna be like, well, I'm gonna be the melee guy because he's fast and looks cool. I couldn't control it, so I switched back to guns pretty quickly. Unfortunately, you leveled up in the beta, but there was no, like, you got abilities, and it seemed to kind of imply you could go down a skill tree and even customize your armor and your weapons, but we couldn't do any of that in the beta, so I don't know if you're actually going to be able to switch weapons or if you're stuck with what they give you. And then I don't know if the ability points are going to be, what if there's a super OP one and then everyone just starts using that in PvP? There's a lot of questions I still have about this game after the beta. Gameplay wise, it is solid. No issues there. But outside of gameplay wide, what am I doing? Why am I coming back? That is my question. Well, there looked like there might have even been a battle pass, which I kind of expect that at this point. But as of right now, until I know what the progression is, I don't know how good this game's going to be. Because again, let's go back to Destiny 2, or even Destiny. They used to have a bunch of strikes, right? And only half those strikes were any good. So basically 4 out of the 8 were only good. How's it going to be in this game? I don't know how many maps, don't know how many modes, I don't know anything. And like I said, I liked what I played, but I'm not going to play it for 12, 15 hours like that. No way. I need to have some sort of progression. I need to have different modes, quite frankly. And I just don't know that it's going to be there. So be wary of that. But I mean, the game is not too far out, so we'll find out really soon. And again, it's on Game Pass. So really, if you want to check it out, you can do that. I think it'll be a good game to mess around with your buddies for a few nights. But I mean, again, without the progression, without knowing what it's going to be, I don't know. Progression is everything. It's one of the keystones of what keeps a player in a game. Leveling up, getting new loot, getting new skills and gears. It's in this game, quite frankly, it's going to be the main driving factor when it comes to progression in this game. And quite frankly, keeping players around. It's not something that I'm confident is going to happen. I know with these types of games, when you get a bunch of new players and they get stuffed a few times, they quit. And eventually, you know, you're just left with the pros. And that's fine as long as there's something to work towards. If not, this game it'll basically be like Halo or Multiverses. It'll just drop off like a rock. Anyways, that's my opinion. Like I said, gameplay very, very solid. Need to know the progression. That's the extent of it. If you liked what you saw, got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys next video. Later, Gators.